Hello, Al Pals. Welcome to Big Al Presents. And Big Al Presents a Saturday night rewatch of the 1974 Mel Brooks politically incorrect nightmare of the movie Blazing Saddles. Even at the time, very controversial film. Of course, joining me is Troy Pacelli, the Cleon Cleric.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight? And of course, his lovely wife, Nanette, Nanette, which is kind of part of the opening song.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the channel.
And Blazing Saddles. Like I said, a quick update. What happened? We were originally going to be watching Charade with Sound Engraver, but she had a family thing or something pop up.
Priorities. For crying out loud.
Yeah, well, some things just are more important than us, which is fine.
I'll remember that.
We were once we found that out, we're trying to figure out what to do. I gave Troy the opportunity. He said, just go ahead, you had to take it. I was like, oh, well, are you sure? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I just decided, I thought after a week of Memento and then Rambo, I thought we needed something a little light or like fantastical fantasy.
Sure.
So
something without O in the title.
Yeah.
So something that wasn't like so super uber bloody, or at least if it was like just funny to begin with anyway. But everybody wanted to see Clash of the Titans is always mentioned. Blazing Saddles is always mentioned, and I was looking for a third just to throw another category in there. And Fan Man actually brought up
Blazing Saddles,
Airplane 2.
Oh yeah.
So he's the one who suggested the title, so that's why that made the mix.
Gotcha.
But after a nationwide poll, Blazing Saddles won by well over 50%. Airplane did much better than I actually thought it would. Airplane 2, that is. And Clash of the Titans, sadly, I think came in. Did it come in second? I think it came in second, but it was still like the other two were well behind Blazing Saddles. So Blazing Saddles it is. And
so
you said you've seen this. You guys have seen this film.
Oh, many times. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I believe that I saw this movie before, even though it came out many years after. I believe I saw this before I saw the movie Cat Ballou, and I saw it with my grandfather. And my grandfather laughed so hard at this movie, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" He goes, "This kind of reminds me of the movie Cat Ballou with Lee Marvin." Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm going to have to see this movie, right? So as soon as I got the opportunity, this was back in the days of VHS. Those were cassettes that were like this big that you put into a machine and you have to rewind. For those
cool people still have them.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
actually, I just threw my old player away because it was dead, and so it was
yeah.
done.
So I saw Cat Ballou, and I was like, "You're kidding." Jane Fonda's in it. And my grandfather said, Lee Marvin's in it. That makes up for it.
Yeah, I've never seen Cat Ballou. That'll be something to do a watch of one night.
Honest to goodness, it's the only that and 9 to 5 are the only Jane Fonda movies that I'll watch. And
not even Barbarella,
because you forget. Not even Barbarella. Nope.
Wow. Yeah. I will say that my history with Blazing Saddles is kind of a weird one. Not in that I saw it in a weird place or anything. I actually think the first time I ever saw it might have been on a videotape with friends. Just somebody rented it and we just watched it. Either that or it was on like HBO or Showtime or something. And when I was young, and that's how he got a lot of films at the time. But I do remember when the film came out in 1974, I distinctly remember my mother and some of her sisters going out one night, and that's what they did. They went to go see Blazing Saddles. And it just struck me as so funny. And my mother was the first one to tell me, "Oh, they had this scene that was so funny. All these guys sitting around a campfire farting."
Yeah.
I remember that. I'm like 9, 10 years old, and she's telling me about her, going to see this movie, and it just for some reason it made my mom cooler that she'd gone to see this R-rated film with Blazing Saddles.
This was R-rated?
It is R-rated, yeah. I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. R-rated.
No, I can't watch. I'm not old enough.
I'm struggling to think. I mean, what's in this? Maybe did they drop the F-bomb or something like that?
Or it could be the N-word.
Not back then. Back then, the N-word was cheap.
There's a lot of sexual innuendo in this thing. I mean, tons. I mean, some of the things I found out about this film when looking into it, the film was lucky to get made.
Really?
And just they showed it. He had done it. He filmed it, and he showed it to studio executives. There wasn't a laugh or anything during the entire screening.
Wow.
And they were like, we shouldn't even release this. We should just cut our losses. Because I think it was because of all the,
really
how raunchy it was for the time. I mean, even today, it's not as raunchy. Today, it's more the PC element, the N-word and the racial stuff is what's really
Chris
big.
P. just said profanity, sexual innuendo, and the N-word. I honestly don't think the N-word made a difference back then, to be honest.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the points. Back then, you could say that word, and I'm not going to say nobody would look stupid, but I mean, it was used as effect, and you heard it all the time by different, depending on the film and what, of course, if it was used organically, but there came a time where everybody flipped that switch to PC, and you can't say that or any. There's a lot of disparaging racial terms
you can't
for
say. And with
different races.
With intersectionality, there's so many things that you can't say, but what you do say and you think it's okay is going to still offend somebody, and that's going to come back. It's gotten ridiculous. And people like Mel Brooks, Dave Chappelle, Ricky Gervais, are starting to speak out about this and going, it is impossible to have humor without being politically incorrect. You have to be offensive in order to be humorous.
The funniest humor, the funniest jokes sometimes are the ones that not only make you laugh, but make you a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Make you squirm in your chair a little bit. Those are the best ones because it just is. I mean, you look now, of course, a name associated with this film, Richard Pryor. I mean, you look at his comedy and the N-words everywhere. Yeah. That was his style. Now, of course, there were a lot of, but you compare him to like Bill Cosby, who never used that word.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Cosby played it more. He was more family friendly.
Yeah.
It's like I remember listening to a Richard Pryor album called "That N-Word's Crazy," and that's the first time I was ever really exposed to him. Like, I can't believe he's saying those words. Is he supposed to be able to say those words?
Yeah. I mean, he said even I think Eddie Murphy, even through the Eddie Murphy era.
Yeah.
They were, he could say it, and I'm sure black comedians today can get away with it, like Chris Rock or somebody like that. But
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. But a white guy, no, son, you cannot say that word at all. But back then, if it was part of the script, you just said it. That was, it's. I mean, it's politically incorrect, but it was funny the way it was used because it was used to highlight the crassness and stupidity of the townspeople.
It came from a good place. You look at what Mel Brooks was trying to do, and he was trying to take the power out of that word. And I think a lot of comedians do exactly that, black, white, or whatever. And I think that's what humor is really meant to do. And I I just weep every time I see all this. I just had somebody post something to my wall the other day. It was a meme that I've seen going around over and over and over again. It's the one where the two astronauts land on the moon and they're looking at the woman lying on the moon, and he says,
Oh, Alice Cramden.
it's Alice Cramden. And sure enough, the first comment was someone talking about, this is inappropriate, blah, 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 domestic violence. And I'm like,
No,
you know what?
they just, I mean, for God's sake, that was the thing, Ralph Cramden, to the moon, Alice, and
I'm sick of it. I'm too old to care. I mean, I don't.
But
I kind of wish someone else hadn't already taken the name Aged Boomer, because I would take that name, because I have gotten to that point.
And the thing, Aged Boomer too.
Aged Boomer too.
Yeah,
Maybe younger Aged Boomer. I don't know.
Aged Boomer 2 with the TOO. But well, the thing they don't realize with the Alice Cramden thing, you watch that show, he would do that. She stood right in his face, and scared him down. She was a tough, strong woman.
In context, it was so clear that he would never really raise a hand to her.
Oh no,
he would say it. He would talk a big game. But how did they end every episode?
Yep.
With him referring how much he loved her.
Yep.
Okay, Aged Boomer has to give up his name. He's only 43 this week. He's a youngin'. You're not old enough to have that name.
I'm actually older than Aged Boomer.
Speaking of Aged Boomer, let me go through the chat real quick and just welcome everyone.
Oh, yeah.
I did hear Chris P was first, so yes, you do get credit. Troy's made sure about that. So thank you for being first. Dark Strangers here. Melissa Harris, welcome.
Melissa Harris deserves a special honorable mention. She thought she was first because she didn't see the previous comments, but that's okay. She's still awesome.
Yeah, they disappear, man. They truly.
I don't get it.
Casey Scott, of course. Troy in here. Evelyn Hampton, welcome.
Evelyn, hey, she promised she was going to be here.
The Klingons are well represented tonight.
Yes.
And Julie Whitefeather is also here.
Oh, Julie, you in here? Hi, Julie.
Daniel Heron. No, we're not watching Clash of the Titans.
I think
I told Daniel to go vote on Twitter. Daniel doesn't do Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
so but no, your vote unfortunately would not have mattered. It would have I actually counted his vote. I was like, okay, if I added one to Clash of the Titans, would do anything? No. So it really didn't matter. We'll watch Clash of the Titans, and we'll watch it in the next. I will put it high on my priority because I've been wanting to watch it myself.
Yeah. It's been so many years since I've seen it.
Yeah. Like I say, Aged Boomer. How you doing? Yeah, Julie Whitefeather. Love that name.
Did you get Mr. Matchstick and Casey Scott?
Yep, I saw Casey and Mr. Matchstick, Casey Scott, as on my Facebook as well.
Forever cursed Phoenix Lord Azerman. That's a mouthful.
The what?
What, Phoenix Lord Azerman? Yeah.
Yeah, Sir Torin Clegane, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Dark Stranger. If you didn't
Dark
say
Stranger.
Dark Stranger, and I think that is it.
So
I want to welcome everybody who is here right now. I'm just letting everybody know. Clicking out of YouTube to save that.
Save bandwidth.
So far that's been working, so I'm going to stick with it.
Can everyone tell me if I sound okay? Because I adjusted some settings for my sound. I want to make sure that I don't sound robot-y or echoey or anything.
And I think
better than you usually do.
Yeah.
But it's still a little robot-y.
It's never going to be perfect because we are in the same room and we are still going to be picked up by each other's mics. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah,
so
I've been
trying to minimize it as much as possible.
I've been looking over new headphones because I cannot find those little poofy things that you can replace for the ear. I have them somewhere here. I know because I bought some and replaced them before, but I have one that's blown out again in my left ear. So I need to replace that.
My headphones can get uncomfortable sometimes, but I've found that the more I drink, the more comfortable they feel. So.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, Dark Stranger said,
When you,
fine. Awesome. Thank you.
yeah, when you drink the rum, you get some numb. But
Oh, I like that. That works.
yeah,
So
working a
going
little
back
bit.
to the topic at hand, though, I know that here's the thing. We have a lot of people that we've become friends with in this stream, but
Mhm.
I have no idea sometimes whether you're male or female, whether you're black or white or other, you know.
Nationality, yeah, I don't know anything.
And it doesn't matter. But I think if you happen to be of some group that would normally want to talk to the offensiveness of the movie, I'd love to hear your opinion so we can talk about it. I think we should be talking about these kinds of things.
Yeah, I remember I have a story. I have a story when I used to many years ago when I first got out of college. I graduated college with a degree in psychology.
I didn't know
And
that.
yeah,
Okay.
well, just a bachelor's, and I started working with a local organization that helped the chronic mentally ill. I worked there for 10 years. I worked my way up from driving a van and giving out morning medications to being a house staff at night. I would do a morning run, doing meds, and one house I had to make sure one guy got up and was dressed and ready to go. And I went to one house at night where, just making sure they did chores, cooked dinner, people, whoever needed to get their meds from me got their meds.
Sure.
And then I eventually became the coordinator where I coordinated the people that did that. So I kind of like grew through the positions. But I had a friend that worked there. His name was Rhodey Barnes. I'll use his name. Why not? I haven't seen him in years and years, unfortunately. And we were talking. One day, we've been working at this place for 7 or 8 years. And then one day he said, as a black man, I have known that. And he said that he was a black man. Mm-hmm. And it literally I'm like, and I looked at him like, oh my God, you are black, aren't you? I had never really been a part of what I thought of him. He was my friend Rhodey, who had a car he called Knight Rider because it was a black car, and it kind of had the similar lines. It wasn't really.
So you noticed the car was black. You didn't notice that he was.
I noticed his car was black. I never noticed he was black.
Well, it's like when Troy and I used to belong to this other church. We were going in a neighborhood that wasn't a great neighborhood.
Good story.
And it was one of those things where they're like, okay, well, make sure that, especially ladies, you have a brother with you. So I latched on to a couple of the guys. I said, okay, let's go. And it goes, no, you need to have a brother with you. I'm like, yeah, these are my brothers. She goes, no, a brother. I'm like, and I'm looking, I'm like, what are you talking about? And he kind of rubbed the back of his head and goes, my color? I'm like,
oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, exactly. I was getting a little echo on you that time, just so you know. Okay, so let's get into this film. I think we've been chatting it up. It's I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how everybody. I've got a Blu-ray rip, so I'm at about 17 seconds. They had like a newfangled Warner Brothers. And then that ends, and it goes into like the Warner Brothers at the time with a little bit of fanfare. I want to start at the older Warner Brothers. Let's get through the other one.
So you were at 14 seconds, am I right?
Yeah, I was, and I just changed it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I did something I shouldn't have done, and let me rerun it up to that point again.
Okay.
But yeah, the newfangled blue one shows up, and then it goes black, and then you start to hear a horn at 15 seconds. And that's where I'm at. So I'll just say 15 seconds. You hear a horn, and it's just before the WB symbol shows, the older WB symbol shows up.
Yeah.
So we'll start there, and I'm hoping everybody's got their can of beans ready to go. Oh,
Their can of beans.
yeah, it's gonna be. It's some things you watch popcorn with, some things you watch beans, and this is a bean movie. No, I'm just kidding, of course. But yeah, um, like I said, classic Mel Brooks. Probably, you say the name Mel Brooks, most people will immediately say Blazing Saddles.
Right.
Probably the definitive Mel Brooks film. So yeah, let's start. Like I said, I'm at the 15-second mark. In 3, 2, 1, go.
So I was saying on Facebook, when you posted the movie poster, I had never noticed before, but in the band that the Mel Brooks,
Yeah,
it has these Hebrew characters, and I was like, oh, I had no idea.
and they actually do say something, but
I'm
it's
sure they do.
shining star.
You know what would be a good follow up to this would be the However Many Ways to Die in the West, the one that.
Oh yeah, 1 million ways to die in the West. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, another great one. But what's funny is this song, "The Blazing Saddles," sung by Frankie Lane, and Mel Brooks wanted someone like Frankie Lane to sing it, but Frankie Lane probably wouldn't have sung it if he'd known it was to a comedy.
Really?
And he advertised for someone who sounded like Frankie Lane, and Frankie Lane actually answered the ad.
Wow.
So he didn't tell him what it was for. He just had him record the song.
Wow.
So that's how it came in. That's why it comes off so
authentic.
Yeah, it's authentic. It's not got a funny thing to it.
Music and lyrics by Mel Brooks. He is so talented.
Yeah. Original title for the film. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
The original title was Tex X, as a play on Malcolm X.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They shied away from that, and then it was just called Black Bart. And then halfway through, they decided to go with Blazing Saddles. It just came to him like while he was taking a shower.
I guess what surprises me is how many movies he did that were serious films that weren't even comedies.
Yeah. Well, they all have like a quirky. There's a quirky nature to them.
Yeah.
The writing on the Hebrew writing on the headband should translate kosher for Passover.
Nice.
But it's a deliberate mistake that actually they switched the letters. It translates to something like kosher for Passover.
Nice.
Yeah. And the coin on the side says, "Hi, I'm Mel, trust me."
Wow. And it's absolutely true. I mean, they did have a lot of Asians working on the. Now they were what we would call migrant workers today.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, the the guy who was asking him to sing, the guy in the black hat with the black vest there, did not want to say the N-word.
Really?
He just was very resistant. Cleavon Little, who plays Bart here, took him aside and said, "Dude, I know, we're friends. I know you would. I know that's something. It's just for the role. It's like, I knew if you actually said it and meant it, of course we'd go to Fist City. I mean, I like how you said Fist City."
That is a good song. He doesn't sing it very well, but it's a good song.
Yeah.
Agent Boomer, no, I've never heard of Rustler's Rhapsody.
Oh yeah, yeah. Stars Tom Berenger, I believe, isn't it?
I like Tom Berenger.
Yeah, I think he's in it. I think it's like an early '80s, mid '80s film. A little really kind of bizarre.
I had one of those plastic play school, kiddie record players that played this. It played this song. That's where I learned Camptown Races.
Yeah. Slim Pickens. I love that. I've always loved Slim Pickens.
So I was actually feeling pretty good about the historical accuracy of this until I saw him shooting off his gun. Nobody would do that and waste ammunition like that.
Yeah.
Dark Stranger, absolutely. It's been so long since I've seen this. I don't remember Mel Brooks' sexy secretary, but I'm sure Al will have a thing or two to say about it when we get to that.
Oh, I'm sure she'll stick out just fine. Well, everyone talks about the secretary. Let's not forget Madeline Kahn. Who is a beautiful woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was a gorgeous gorgeous actress, and she kind of thought originally that Mel Brooks was trying to get a little casting couch action.
Yeah,
he had asked her to show her legs because she had to do that split in her scene later.
Yeah.
And he wanted to see her legs, and she's like, "Wait a minute, I'm not going to be doing that for it." And he's like, "Well, it's for the scene." And she's like, "Okay, but you can't touch."
That's fair. Have you ever used one of those carts, the pump carts?
Oh no, I never have. Or you know what? Maybe like a kid version, at a fair or something.
Yeah. I was at a camp in New Mexico and we got to do that. And it's not as easy as it looks in the movies. It's difficult. You kind of have to once you get it started, it's not bad.
Yeah, I think it was I know not a real one, but something like a facsimile kind of a thing.
Yeah. Now this is really sad, but really, really funny.
Yeah, no. gotta save that.
Right.
It was almost a $400 hand cart.
Well, they also have the problem of if the tracks run right into quicksand like that, they're going to need to drain that and fill it in solidly before they can lay track there.
Yeah, but it's just funnier to do what they're doing.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean,
I'm overanalyzing it, aren't I?
I mean, most of the time, most people, if they keep their head about them, can get out of quicksand mighty easy, just like that. You just kind of scooch your way through it.
It's funny you say that because this is probably one of the most accurate portrayals of quicksand I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah. I was like Gilligan's Island, where every now and then quicksand would pop up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't there in the last episode?
And considering that the handcart earlier had come from that direction, how come there wasn't quicksand then?
Actually, I can answer that question. No. I can answer that question. If there was a heavy rain recently that caused that area to fill up with water, they would have known that was a quicksand area until after the track was laid.
Hedley Lamar, of course, a play on Hedy Lamar,
who
sued the movie company, I mean Mel Brooks, and they didn't even fight. They just settled for a small sum.
No kidding.
And an apology.
I had no idea.
Yeah, she thought it infringed because they were talking about her. It infringed on her privacy.
She
was notoriously private.
Look at the painting on the wall. the wedding picture of them facing the priest, so you see just their backs.
Yeah. Headley Lamar. Always loved Harvey Korman.
I do too, and I always loved the Carol Burnett show, but unfortunately now I can only think stir, whip, 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 stir.
Well, Mel Brooks fans, that executioner is the same executioner that shows up in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't you recognize him?
Oh, gets me every time.
I love Harvey Korman. I'm a huge fan of Harvey Korman.
I love the color of that vest that he's got on. I got to get one like that.
I
Oh, you think Chris P said that car was pulled out a little too easy. It's like, yeah, it was.
Have a little fun with that statue.
And the boobs. Okay. And again, these are Westlaw books that weren't published in this format back then. But at least he's using them the way they should be used. They're legal precedents.
I sit there looking at Slim Pickens. Have you ever seen 1941, the movie?
I haven't seen it since it first came out.
Yeah.
You know, I also have to think, considering when this is set, I wonder if there'd be enough U.S. case law to fill all of those Westlaw books. Too Jewish.
Jeez.
No. Oh, can't say that anymore. I got to be careful what I say. We might get the stream taken down. Why would they say hang them, string them up until they're by the neck until they're dead? I mean, you're going to string them up until they lose consciousness and then take them down or something? I mean, what is the other option there?
Sometimes they didn't die.
Yeah, if they were hung wrong, they would just hang there and not die.
I mean, it's
well, they say that if the executioner did it right, your neck would snap instantly, and it was the fastest way to go, as opposed to if you did it wrong, you strangle them. That's not a fun way to go.
Mm-mm. Peaceful Town Hall or Rock Creek? Yeah, it is Westworld, actually. Howard Johnson's One Flavor.
Dark Stranger, you still not hearing me? You're only hearing me from Nanette's mic?
So you hear me okay, but you're not hearing Troy good. Well.
Yeah, you're coming in good right there, Nanette.
What about me? Not at all?
You're coming in, but you sound...
using that one or that one?
I'm using the mic on the camera.
You sound you sound farther away.
Well, I'll get closer to the mic, but that means you guys are going to get a clearer picture of me. So,
I don't mind that.
Well, no, you don't mind it, but the rest of them probably do. You don't mind because you're weird.
But yeah, this was the same set they did Westworld on.
Is it really?
Yep. you were joking, but that's where they did.
You mean the original Westworld?
Yeah, the original Westworld.
Yeah. I was thinking of the cable show.
Oh,
Have you ever seen such cruelty?
Age Boomer says at Big F Presents, we got cows.
We got cows. I'm almost done with my drink, everybody.
John Hillerman. A lot of great actors in this film.
Yeah.
David Huddleston, of course. Santa to many.
Is that oh, in the front row there? What's his name?
The one with the mustache, sitting next to the lady in the pink dress or red dress. Yeah, that's Higgins from Magnum PI.
Yeah.
John Hillerman. Yeah.
Oh, is that his name? I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Cattle rape.
It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes the cattle gets tipped.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the cattle wrangler gets tipsy. No way, no how.
Bad gummit.
I grew up here. Convenient. You're going to die here. You think he was named for Gabby Hayes?
He was, yeah.
I figured. It's one of those things that you don't know for sure, but you figure probably.
Mm-hmm. Richard.
Look at those pews. It's the same kind of thing that we'd be sitting in today, as uncomfortable as possible.
Yep, you didn't mind having to stand up and kneel a lot.
That's for sure.
I'm getting some of the audio leaking in.
Oh, okay. I'll turn my volume down.
Could be me.
I love some of the names that that have been associated with this. You know, they offered the part, the Gene Wilder part, to John Wayne.
Oh, I'm not sure that would have worked as well.
I don't know. Well, they originally wanted that character to be an older gunman. And the original actor they had did it showed up the first day just totally drunk, and they fired him and got Gene Wilder in right away. And but like I said, this was still early in the process of things changed. But the Gov.
Oh, the redhead. Kind of wish we had the professor here.
Yeah, he'd love her. Okay. But he actually has his little one tonight, I believe.
I've gotta say something about Mel Brooks right now. What he's doing with his eye, not an easy thing to do. I think see, I can do it, but it's not an easy thing to do. It helps that I'm drunk. It helps that I've been drinking. Holy cow. she's kind of all out there, isn't she?
Hashtag Wookie
she's,
Boobs.
Oh, wow. That's how I feel.
she is
A redhead. Yes,
a healthy. She's a healthy lass. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a dark guy. The reason John Wayne didn't do it, he says the film was too filthy, but he'd be first in line for it. It didn't fit into his style of film that he wanted to put out there.
It would have been hard to take him not seriously.
Yeah.
Pillows. Spitting pillows.
Well, John Wayne could be funny when he wanted to be. Like if you watch Quiet Man, there's some parts of Quiet Man there's some there he's kind of charming, a little, a little jokey here and there, but he's not like the tough Western guy. He's the humble American Irishman going back to visit his family home.
So I've always said that I have no poker face. I obviously don't have a drinking face either.
Oh,
Headley. Actually, Melissa Harris, we have done a Tombstone rewatch. It's what got me and the professor arguing about historical films.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to the point where we'll like get to what revisit old favorites, as the doctor once said about his faces.
So you see that lamp there with the green cover on it?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if this was intentional. It probably wasn't. But in more modern films, you would see a lawyer with the fluorescent one that's got a green cover like that. So I wonder if that's a tip of the hat to that. I doubt it. I'm probably reading way too much into it, but still. In my eye. Choking on the candy.
It is weird, like that, doing that thing with his eye. I bet that is hard to do. Well, I have a lazy eye anyway.
Yeah. So I can do it easily with my left eye. I can I can do it with my right eye too.
I'm waiting for your contact lens to go bing across the screen.
No. I'm well practiced at that.
It's like, of course, Cleavon Little here, who was more known for Broadway roles.
Yeah, at the time he was, yeah.
Yeah, but they originally were going to have Richard Pryor was going to do it.
That doesn't surprise me.
But Richard Pryor was had a notorious reputation at the time for drinking, drugs, and everything like that.
Yes, he did.
And they would not, the insurance company would not cover him.
Oh,
so they had to get somebody out. Now he is still part of the writing crew, but I always wondered. Oh yeah, he contributed a lot to the film. But I'm just wondering what this film would have been like with Richard Pryor because he has
You
a
know,
little bit of a different
and the
aura
fact that
about him.
he and Gene Wilder had such great chemistry together.
Yeah.
It's good to be the chief. Dee-dum, dee-dum, dee-dum. I like that. She's just hiding behind the curtain. Like, are you coming back? Okay, I'll just wait.
Yeah. The affairs of state take precedent over the affairs of state.
Gucci. Oh, and this outfit he's wearing. You know what I love about this movie? When it gets history wrong, it does it intentionally and big.
Yeah.
Is that a velour suit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the original backstory for Bart was that he was a pimp.
That makes sense. I love this kind of thing.
Count Basie and his orchestra.
Yep. Now, had Cleavon Little ever worked with them before? Do you know?
Do what now?
Did Cleavon Little ever work with Count Basie before?
I don't know. Well, like I said, he was basically a Broadway actor. But
That's why I suspected maybe they had.
Yeah, I think he was a known quantity. And since they couldn't get Pryor didn't work out, they had to Cleavon Little, I think, was just like an up and comer.
The only reason this comes to mind is because I imagine that as an actor, there's got to be people that you get to meet as you're doing films where you are the fan, you know, and it's like, oh, I get to meet so and so, you know.
This is such an iconic scene.
Yeah, I'm waiting until this is over because I have to run to the washroom, but I want
to. The sheriff is near.
The sheriff is near.
Oh.
Yay! Yay! Bruh.
And I just love how the thing just like rolls right up. Like I said, if you're gonna make it I mean, like I said, you could not do this scene today.
No.
Excuse me while I whip this out. It's so classic. Excuse me while I whip this out.
Yup.
Are you on your own?
I love this bit. It's genius.
And actually,
He's not bluffing.
And I read it's based on an actual event in Mel Brooks's life.
What?
He had stolen a water pistol, and when the guy caught him, he turned the water pistol on the guy and was like, hold it or I'll shoot, or something like that. It kind of morphed into this.
Oh my gosh. Is anyone gonna help that poor man? I love this. It's so dumb.
I love how everybody in the town's last name is Johnson.
Nepotism much? Oh,
Melissa Harris is exactly right. Everything in this has got to be PC BS today. Nothing any fun in this film is a breath of fresh air.
Julie Whitefeather. To this day, this scene makes me uncomfortable. You know what?
Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
Yep.
If you're not uncomfortable, it's not going to work. I love that reaction they all have. That means she's a good public speaker. Keeps their attention. Speak up.
Okay. Cows? We got cows.
Jinx. Okay. Since both of you are on the stream and you guys can talk, nobody's going to miss me, so I'm going to take a little bitty break. Okay, I'll be back.
Okay. You just like Cleavon Little putting up wanted posters.
Yeah.
Some of those were actually also used in I think Rio Bravo.
Huh.
One of the John Wayne films, or Rio Lobo. One of those films.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of comfortable hanging upside down like that.
Especially when you've been drunk. And Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks had a little talk during the filming of this about another possible film that he'd like to do. Turned into Young Frankenstein.
Cool. And Madeline Kahn's in that one too.
Yep. When? Gene Wilder just had this likability about him. And it was like the way he looks, his voice, everything. He just had this, I don't know, nice aura about him.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, he was so diverse in the roles that he played. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't think I ever saw him in anything serious, but it's like his comedy wasn't just one note. No matter what you saw him, it was always something a little bit different.
yeah. He could play like the maniacal. He could play the subdued. Like here, he's very subdued. In Willy Wonka, he plays almost devious.
A little psychotic, even.
Yeah, it's like definitely psychotic.
The Waco Kid.
But you see, they talk about his reputation, and that's like I said, he doesn't look like an old grizzled gunman, and that's why they were originally looking at older actors. But I think he fit the role quite well, actually.
Yeah.
And he always had that wild hair. God bless him.
Oh gosh, if my hair ever looks like that, it's like, yeah, I need just to condition more.
I will say that my mother, God bless her, finally got to they finally opened up our county, phase
Mhm.
1. My mother finally got the hairdresser today. She felt so good. When she
Oh,
got
great.
home, she was so happy to have her hair cut. And I was like, I patted her head the other day and I was like, wow, it's all soft and fluffy.
I know. I desperately need a haircut.
Hey, honey, Evelyn said that your video window keeps freezing.
My who?
Your video window keeps freezing, according to Evelyn.
Am I freezing on yours?
I know, I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, I've
Ah,
been
you
watching
don't
the
want to
movie.
see my face anyway, everyone. So Chris P was asking if I was drinking rum. Yeah, I'm drinking rum and Dr. Pepper, but it's Captain Jack white rum because I ran out of Kraken. I got no Kraken.
Now, see, the thing was, he was trying to make hand sanitizer, and it came out as that, you know.
So I'm trying to kill the germs from the inside. See how steady my hand is?
Is that where you're at? Because we passed that.
No. I'm just making a joke because.
Oh, you would. Oh, you. Okay, yeah. Because I can't see you. So
You're not seeing. Oh, you only have the one screen, right?
Right, he turned off
yeah, I
YouTube.
just have the one screen.
Right.
I can sort of see the very little bitty bottom of.
Except
the
occasionally, yeah, they said the N word.
No. I was just making a joke that I said, see how steady my hand is because I've been drinking and I know that's the line that had come up here, even though I wasn't here at the time.
Any man who could like guzzle a whiskey like that, they have been doing it for a long time because that's not an easy thing to do reflex wise.
That's true. Of course, that's probably not what he's actually drinking for the film.
No, nah,
Yeah,
that's
he's drinking tea.
Yeah.
Sound Engraver, I'm so glad you're here.
Sound Engraver.
Hey, sweetie.
Are you watching along with us? Do you need a timestamp? Or do you need to know where we are in the movie?
Anybody who does, I'll just let them know. I'm at 38:57, almost at 39. 39 minutes, just right then.
Yeah, and that's probably right if you're watching on the DVD.
Yeah,
I'm like 2 or 3 seconds behind that.
A little bit of stock footage here. I don't know what movie this is from, though.
Like they made their own little wagon circle. I love that bit.
Did you catch that? That wasn't even a real covered wagon; it was just a miniature.
Yeah, it looked small.
Sound Griever said no, she's just listening to us.
Oh, okay. That kind of makes me wonder why.
Speaking Yiddish, Zeigis Mashiach.
Do you think this was a play on the whole idea that the Native Americans were the 13th tribe of Israel?
Nah, I think they just did it for a joke.
Fair enough. That is a
Valid point.
No. What I was going to say, it was a plot point in Cat Ballou, which I know you said you hadn't seen now.
Nah, I hadn't seen it. The little boy is Rodney Allen Rippey. Oh, okay, yeah. I remember Rodney Allen Rippey.
Wow.
He did the Jack in the Box commercials or something?
I think so, yeah.
He looked like the kid from the Jack in the Box. I remember those commercials. Oh my gosh. Oh, the fuzzy memories. Thank you, Al.
Well, they're only fuzzy because you've been drinking.
Here we go.
They'd have been fuzzy anyway. Here we go. Best scene in the whole movie. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of good scenes in this movie. It actually looks really good.
And have you heard how they did this?
No.
Of course, none of this is happening on screen. None of the sounds.
Right.
But from what I understand is that the people who worked for Mel Brooks, as they needed to, would go into the sound thing and record their farts.
Real farts. And no kidding.
I think they are real farts. And they are actually like Mel and his friends.
Oh, Muhammad said he can't join right now, but he'll try. He'll try in a bit. Okay, Muhammad. If you need a timestamp or need to know where we're at, just let us know, and we will let you know.
Mongo
like beans. You know what's funny is I'm looking at that baguette bread and I'm going, oh, that looks good.
I know. I love a baguette. Of course, Alex Karras, who was, I think, just fresh out of football at this point.
Really?
Played for Detroit Lions. He missed a year because he got caught gambling. So he got
just a year.
Yep, just a year.
Pete Rose is going, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Isn't he a Chicago boy?
Oh, Pete Rose?
No, George, or what's his name?
Mongo.
Yeah, Mongo there.
Alex Karras?
Alex Karras, yeah, I can't remember his real name.
Yeah, he played for the Lions.
Oh.
Yeah, but I thought he was originally from Chicago.
He might have been. I don't know.
Gene Wilder is shaving with a straight blade. Al, have you ever done that?
Never shaved myself with a straight blade. Not like that. I've always wanted to try, but I've also thought that, you know, I kind of like my face a little bit.
When I was the last time that I went to TeslaCon, which was, I don't know how many years ago.
4 years?
No, it's more than
5?
that. It's got to be 6-7 years. There were some guys that were shaving that way in the morning just for authenticity's sake. And then they did a panel on how to shave using a straight blade.
Well, that's cool.
I'm sorry, I can't remember who they were. Otherwise, I'd credit them.
I always see. For me, it's the way they're being held. You know how they have that, like they fold weird, like backwards.
Yep.
And then you have to hold it. I'm like, if it was just like in a knife, like if you just had like a regular folding knife and you folded out that blade and it was locked in place, I'd feel better. But I think the way it looks like you have to hold it, it's kind of weird.
It's not as weird as you think. You're making a misconception based. That part that folds back is the cover, and that has nothing to do with the handle. What you're actually holding is the bladey part. So,
okay.
It's unless you've actually tried it. I understand why you're saying what you're saying, but it's not what you think.
Yeah, and see, it's a matter of like, what?
Sound engraver. I didn't see the conversation that went before, but you're saying it's beautiful down here. Are you talking about the weather? What's it like down there?
Morons. That reaction by Cleavon Little, was genuine, because that was an ad lib line when he goes, morons.
Surprise me.
Yeah, that was a genuine crack up that they kept in. Mongo right into town
on an ox.
Sure, why not?
Yes, no. You know what the yes no is a play on?
No.
A bus, or what side it's good to pass on. They wanted to equate that Mongo and him were the size of a bus. That was that joke. I'd never gotten that. I always wondered why they had yes and no on the back. It's because old buses had yes and no on one side and the other.
So sound engravers in Charleston, South Carolina. I love that. It reminds me of, so I'm going to make another reference to Cat Ballou. In Cat Ballou, Lee Marvin is a character similar to the Gene Wilder character here. He gets drunk, and apparently his horse gets drunk too. And there's this great scene where the horse and he are leaning up against a building because they're both schnockered. Hysterical.
They just showed a scene where some guy punched a horse. Didn't you say you did that once?
No. My scoutmaster did. So when I was in Cimarron, New Mexico, we went to the Boy Scouts. We went to a camp where we all were riding horses, and my scoutmaster's horse freaked out and took off and wrapped him around a tree. He fell out of the saddle and broke a couple ribs. And when we got back to the base camp, he went up to the horse that threw him like that and that took off and literally punched the horse right in the face. And the guys that handled the horses were totally okay with that because they were like, this horse we've had some problems with and he needs to be disciplined. But I was like, holy crap, you just punched a horse.
Like I was almost got for the piano.
This is some cartoon shit here.
And even the way he walks.
Like candy. Awesome. I love that. I'm sorry. I was trying to say that Sound Engraver was saying she's from Charleston, South Carolina, and it's beautiful weather down there. I can imagine. We have not gotten over 70, I think, all year yet.
No, we were yesterday and today.
But rain. So we've never had a clear day above 70.
We were in the 80s the other day here. It got hot.
Screw you all that are down there in the south.
Oh,
it's supposed to be 90 some.
Yeah, the last 2 days I haven't had to have the heat on, so for me that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know what pisses me off? Why do they put the South so far south? He's got a rubber ducky. Watch where you're grabbing there, son. Look at his gun hung up on his chair.
Gun up in the chair, yeah.
That had to be not intentional. Froggy Love Dead. He just has the weirdest outfits in this movie.
Oh, sorry about that. Here's a pie.
Of course, you have the good taste to mention that, not to mention that I spoke to you.
Live on stop. The Teutonic Titwillow.
Oh, those legs.
Yeah. Like I said, Madeline Kahn does not get enough credit for her looks. And she was a beautiful woman.
You know what she also doesn't get enough credit for is her singing ability, because she does so many comedic roles where she sings goofy. She actually has an incredible singing voice.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. I love it when you talk dirty. Aged Boomer, yes, that is the Headless Horseman behind me, and the horse is a properly scaled Pryor horse that Nanette got. Well, Nanette gets me. I'm a cat man. Nanette gets me everything.
I'm his enabler.
Ouch.
She is my enabler. That's absolutely true. So, the Headless Horseman, and the head is, of course, removable. One of the customizations I want to do is get a skull head put on it, and I have somebody working on a replica of what's his name?
Ichabod.
No. He played Max Shrek in Batman Returns. And
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. There you go. Him.
Yeah.
I have someone working on a Christopher Walken head for the Headless Horseman. So 3 heads.
Very cool.
See, this is what I mean. She's singing very well, but she's doing it goofy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Al, do you remember the Madeline Kahn show? I think it was in the late 80s or early 90s. She had a TV series.
Who now?
Madeline Kahn. She had a sitcom.
I don't know.
I think
don't
it's
remember.
Like Here's Madeline or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah. Doesn't ring.
She had one episode where she had Johnny Mathis as a guest star, and the whole idea was she was trying to book Johnny Mathis for some sort of show, and she couldn't get him. So she was trying to get a Johnny Mathis look-alike, sound-alike, and Johnny Mathis showed up to audition, and she's like, "No, you don't sound enough like Johnny Mathis," and he's like, "I don't sound enough like Johnny Mathis." And so she sang a goofy version of "Chances Are."
Yeah.
She's like, "You have to have that warble in your voice," and she sings "Chances Are," and he's like, "Okay, let me try again."
Kind of reminds me of the Roseanne episode where they're in Vegas, and she goes. They go to a text. They go to a Wayne Newton lookalike.
I know exactly the one you mean. Yes.
Yeah, and it was actually Wayne Newton who came out, and she didn't know it because she was in the bathroom.
See, this is what I mean. She's goofing around, but I know she can sing so well. Like, oh my gosh, those legs.
That guy right there is Don Megawan. Now, who is Don Megawan, you may ask?
Yes, I do. Who is Don Megawan?
He played the Gill Man after the transformation in The Creature Walks Among Us.
I get it, because he was pretty damn tall, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he has played the creature from the Black Lagoon, sort of.
Okay, I'll be right back.
You too, huh? Yeah, me too. Yeah. I had to do that earlier. You probably remembered when I paused and had to go away to go pee-pee. Bust your balloons.
Creation of the Humanoids. Well, if that was another movie, he might have been in. I just happen to know he was in The Creature Walks Among Us, the third of the Black Lagoon series, third and final.
Everything below is kaput. Get me off the stage already.
Always like that.
He's reading a list.
Sponge.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but that's because I need a blue sponge.
What? What's going on?
I could just hear crunch,
crunch, crunch, crunch.
You're the one that gave me the crunchy yum yums.
I thought they would be crunchy.
It's your fault. Take them away from me if I shouldn't be crunching.
Oh, here comes a line that he's a handsy little guy.
That's such a cool dress. It really like cleaves the cleavage.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. $50's my limit. It's You're making a German spectacle of yourself.
That sounds so wrong, but now I want some kielbasa.
I was thinking the same thing, Nanette. Don't worry about it.
I'll hook you up later, Nanette. She just looks at me side-eye.
Behave.
I'm being a... Oh, sorry, sound engraver. I've been imbibing a little bit, so sorry.
Agent Boomer wants to know what you're eating. What are those things? Rice crackers?
Yeah, I'm eating some Asian rice crackers.
Yeah, we
You
get them
want
at the dollar store. They're pretty good.
Yeah, have some.
Yeah, what makes them Asian? The flavor, or just that the rice?
We got them from the Asian store.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
do. We get them from the dollar store.
Oh yeah, we did get them from the dollar store. They have them at the Asian store though. They're rice crackers with little bits of seaweed in them.
That's probably what makes them Asian chips. I don't know.
Oh, breast.
One goes straight.
Dude, where'd Choo-Choo go?
A game of life. I always love that. It's such a simple line, but it's just so cool. Mongo only pawn in game of life. Will Sayre say we should do a Lewis Wilson Batman serial rewatch and a Kirk Allen Superman serial.
I have both on the DVD. I do.
I'm sure I can find it.
Okay, we got a Tank Girl.
Tank Girl, yeah.
Oh God, Tank Girl.
You've been stealing water.
We can get you anything you want.
I,
Baseball
I
card?
of course,
Yeah, we can
I
get
of
you
course,
cards. You really can.
I of course prefer Jet Girl.
Yeah, she was a cutie.
That you just reminded me. I need to do a Mulholland Drive rewatch.
No, I'll pass on that one.
Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts is Naomi Watts.
Mr. Magic's like, not before Akira. I found on the high seas today the new movie Scoob. the new
Mr.
Scooby Doo
Matchstick.
movie.
Mr. Matchstick, have you ever seen Mulholland Drive? Just asking. Have you ever seen Mulholland Drive? If you haven't seen Mulholland Drive, watch it and then tell me if you still want me to do Akira first.
Mostly Harris wants a drunk Big Al, Professor Geek, and Fan Man stream.
I don't think any of them drink.
The Fan Man does. He drinks like scotch. I don't. I'll drink like a cider, and I think the professor will imbibe a cider now and then too. But
I don't think any of them get as
not
drunk
heavy
as I
stuff.
do. See, here's the problem, folks. You guys all encourage me to drink during these streams, and I'm out of Kraken, and I've resorted to Captain Jack, and that's gone. I'm all right.
Yeah, you're getting your microphones.
Yeah, you're fading in and out, sweetie.
That's because I can't modulate my voice because I'm drunk.
No, you're too far away from your microphone, dear.
Sorry.
Wow. This is what I have to live with, folks.
Yeah. At the end of the stream, she's still got to put up with my shit.
I love this scene. He goes back, his arms are folded.
I have to wonder if his character isn't supposed to be a caricature of Lee Marvin's character from Cat Ballou. Oh, now she's tied up. Did I just say that out loud? Shit. Instead of leaving, they're staying in droves.
Well, Sarah saying don't drink and stream, Troy. Cops might pull you over.
Yeah, I'm surprised that YouTube.
Oh, Headley slapping a woman, man. That is not cool.
Didn't even look real. Try it again.
She probably liked it.
She's kind of freaky. I like his gloves.
I do too. I was thinking that earlier. I really do like those gloves. I have a pair of like leather gloves, like gauntlet style, like that.
Yeah.
I wish they were a little more flared out. But
You know what I just realized? The vambraces are separate from the gloves themselves, just like the clink wear.
They're like bracers.
Yeah.
Before I went, thinks he's some sort of alky. He only drinks when we're done the movie rewatches.
Yes, I only drink and I never drink on the professor's channel because
I get him demonetized.
yes, that's why, because he's monetized and I don't want him to lose money.
$100 a day, criminal record required. An equal opportunity employer.
Al and I aren't aren't monetized, so who gives a crap? Don't drink and stream. I like that. Friends over
I know.
and drink and stream.
I like how they go through this array of nasties.
Right. And we get to the German soldiers here. Little anachronistic, very airplane-ish.
Bikers just got the
Those bikers are missing part of their bikes. The banditos.
Have you ever ridden on a camel?
no.
I have.
They're ornery.
Yeah, they can be temperamental.
Crispy. I'm real fuzzy right now, so I totally missed it. Which one was he in line?
If you're going to talk, you need to be closer to your mic. You're roboting.
No, Crispy. I didn't see Mel Brooks. Which one was he? Rice crackers.
Have a nice day.
Is that the KKK? Holy crap, this really is an offensive film.
Where the white women at?
I just got that.
Badge. We don't need those taking badges.
Vamonos. At least he said it right. Kinky. Theo, because he's running fast.
Hey, Wolfie. He wants to know how far are we? We need a timestamp.
I'm at 113, 36, 37, 38.
Yeah, I'm like 2-3 seconds behind you.
Same here, yeah. Right around that area. Oh, and you know what? I've been drinking a lot, and alcohol makes you gotta go pee. So I gotta go to the potty again. So I'm gonna be
Thanks
away.
for sharing, sweetie.
Excuse me.
Wow.
I hope he aims well when he's drunk.
Actually, he's never had an issue.
I have lots of issues.
Okay, you have a lot of issues, but aiming isn't one of them.
You bet your ass. See, all people can come together and help
Yep.
defeat a common enemy.
What's wrong with the Irish?
The Irish were very looked down upon during that period. I mean, during the immigration, because there were so many of them coming through.
Hey, I'm a little bit Irish on my mother's side.
Yeah, but I think it was just the sheer numbers of them or something.
My father claims that he's Irish, but to be honest with you, he's just a redneck. Hollywood.
Yeah, that'll fool.
Mm-hmm. So I want to send up 3 women: Nanette, Evelyn, and Julie Whitefeather. All 3 of which have had to deal with me in person when I get like this.
And we survived to tell the tale.
Evelyn has the authority to put me in the brig.
I love the handlebars on the horses, by the way. Your name. Hi, your name.
Katie Scott, I don't have a pirate hat. I do have an eye patch, though. It's a Klingon eye patch.
I was trying to think because today we lost another great comic actor, Fred Willard.
Yeah.
I was wondering if he has done any Mel Brooks kind of stuff because he seems like that kind of an actor, but I don't know if he's done anything with him. I'm trying to think.
I'm fuzzy, but didn't he also play Joe Isuzu?
No, that's somebody else.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah, I know Fred Willard from like him and Martin Mull were really close.
Martin Mull,
They did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're like
And-
besties.
Yeah. I mentioned Roseanne, and I remember Fred Willard was on Roseanne for a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit.
he was.
He played Roseanne's boss's husband.
Somebody's got to go back and get a shitload of times. Now we have Fast Pass. I got a drinking problem. Casey Scott, a drunk Klingon is a fun Klingon.
They're coming through backwards, though.
Boom. Uh-oh. Is it weird that I think that Madeline Kahn is still sexy in that pantsuit?
Mm-hmm. No, not at all. I watched all those years of X-Files with Scully in her little pantsuits.
Right? Shut up.
Is that a horse that just went flying up in the air?
Yeah.
Whee!
And can we just give credit to the horses that are trained to fall down that way?
I like the Reverend kicks the guy, knees the guy in the
Yep.
nuts. I was like, "Forgive me, Lord."
I love that. He makes the guy pass out by breathing on him.
Like a
Mom
fake
would
horse.
knock the horse down.
She'll keep the Germans busy.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they show Hollywood.
Yep.
Such a strange way to end the film.
I love this though.
And a big musical number.
The great Dom DeLuise. I love Dom DeLuise.
Wrong. Oh my gosh, he was skinny back then.
Yeah, during one of his skinny periods, he yo-yoed a lot. Crash. Literally breaking the fourth wall.
Literally and physically. Not even. Come on, girl.
I like it. Ellen, you're working for Mel Brooks.
I'm parked over by the commissary. All right.
Mel Brooks loves synchronized swimming because it would come back in another film, History of the World Part 1.
History of the World Part 1. And there's Hitler. They lose me right after the bunker scene. Get it? It's historical.
And they're sitting on the back.
I'll just go back in here.
Where are they running?
It doesn't matter. What they're getting at is that this film was so outrageous, it literally overflowed their own soundstage. Get me the hell out.
Trying to be off this picture. I say he's after Headley, so at least he's got a purpose.
No, that wasn't a real taxi or no numbers on it.
Now the titles here, Blazing Saddles, they had to be put on afterward because it was originally titled Black Bart. And if you look close, one of the posters has Black Bart written on it.
Oh, that's awesome. Great detail, Al.
Yeah.
This is why I love your rewatches. You know so much.
Yeah, you see in the back, right over his head, it says Black Bart.
Yep. Look, I'm social distancing.
Well, see, that's what a theater needs to look like, you know.
I know.
Cows?
Big and fancy like that.
With cows, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Not more cows. Actually, I think they're the same cows.
Fresh milk, and you can make your own nacho cheese.
Speaking of which, Twister next week. So,
Ooh.
ooh. Douglas Fairbanks. There's little feet. Have you ever been to California, seen those hands and prints?
No, I've never seen them.
Me neither. I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
Well, Sarah says Troy should get a Klingon drinking glass. He has one.
I am. This is the exact kind of Deep Space Nine. The problem is ones from the Next Generation that kind of
Can't hear you, sweetie. Get closer to the mic.
the ones that you're thinking of that don't have a hand. Those are really hard.
And they did have a TV. They tried to make a TV show called Black Bart. Actually, they did with Lou Gossett Jr.
I like it.
They only filmed a few episodes though.
That's a movie we need to do. Enemy Mine.
You do what?
Enemy Mine with Louis Gossett Jr.
Oh yeah, that's a great film.
He's got his popcorn.
Yep.
And the only reason I drink is because you people have told me that you enjoy the streams more when I've been drinking. You encourage me.
Oh.
Riding off into the sunset. And they get up.
Getting in a limo.
Mel Brooks is a freaking genius.
You can definitely tell his style.
Right?
Yeah, he definitely has a way of doing things. Even something is out there is like bringing in a car or breaking the fourth wall like he did.
And it's not
literally crash through the wall.
I mean, this isn't like Deadpool. This is Mel Brooks. It's different. Oh, brilliant. Awesome movie. I'm so glad you did this today.
Count Basie as himself. Got to thank everybody for voting for this. Always a great one. It's been a while since I've sat down and watched it, but always been one of my favorites. Any Mel Brooks film, actually, except a lot of early Mel Brooks I have not seen, like Producers and High Anxiety. Those are two I know those are two I still need to see. But Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein. Oh, and I still need to see Dracula Dead and Loving It.
You've never seen
Dracula Dead and Loving It? No, never seen it. I actually have it. I actually do have a copy of it, and I just need to sit down and watch it one day.
Al, let's do that as a rewatch during the Halloween season.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd be totally.
So, like to thank everyone for joining us. Blazing Saddles, like I said, a huge favorite. A film that made my mother cool back in 1994. She actually went to go see it. And there's another film she went to go see that surprised me, which was an adult version of Cinderella, which is kind of interesting.
I know that.
Her and her sisters went to go see that too. And I'm like,
mom?
Really? Yeah, my mom and like her sisters and stuff.
He just never said he wants to see Troy watch Evil Dead while inebriated.
Oh, that would be awesome! Yes. Yes.
Yeah, wow, getting lots of reverb and echo, and now with Troy, he's coming through everything now.
So we get my sound fixed, now his is messed up.
Okay, I'll be more quiet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so now we think about next week. Next week is actually going to be on the channel called So Many Fandoms, correct?
So Many Fandoms. It's meteorologist Katie Miss.
So many fandoms.
So many fans. That's
so many fandoms. Well, we'll make sure that we get the link going and everything like that. But she is hosting it, and it is going to be a rewatch of Twister. A film I just absolutely adore. It is, like I said, one of my top 5 watch it whenever it's on type of film. Any part of it, I'll start watching it, no matter what part of the film. I almost will watch as much of it as I can. I have seen it many times, and I love it. Looking forward to getting the behind the scenes info from Katie about tornadoes and how they actually work.
Yes, exactly. Let me explain. So meteorologist Katie Nicolau is a real meteorologist, and she really does that, chasing the storms and stuff. And just like in the movie, and Twister is one of her favorite movies. And I've been working with her on a couple of different streams, mostly Doctor Who related. And I don't remember how it came up, but she said, yeah, she'd be totally up for hosting a Twister rewatch. So we're going to do that on her channel next week. And we're all going to be over there. And I just, those of you that follow me and Al will send out the stream, the link for Katie, so that you can join us next week. I don't know that I'm making any sense, so Al, you better take over.
Yeah, actually, you were doing pretty good there. Like I said, it's going to be on her channel. Like I said, so many fandoms will make sure to tweet that out. And Troy, since you know her, so you keep in contact with her, make about
so I just talked to her today,
marketing,
and she confirmed for next week. So
and will the time be the same? 9 o'clock your time, 10 o'clock
will
ours?
be the same. And she's Central Time like I am, so 9 o'clock she's good.
Oh, good deal. And the week after that, we will be on the Professor Geek channel as the professor hosts a rewatch of the uber classic Maltese Falcon.
Oh, the Maltese Falcon.
So we've definitely Maltese.
Full disclosure, I haven't seen the Maltese Falcon since I was in high school, I don't think. So
I literally saw it for the first time last year.
Really?
I had never seen it, and I was on the professor's Amazon list one day, looking through his stuff, and he had it there, and I watched it. So okay. I finally got a chance to see it, and I really hadn't before that. So, but like I said, tonight was originally supposed to be Charade. Charade has been rescheduled for the 13th on Sound Engraver's channel because she loves Henry Mancini. Going to talk that film, Cary Grant, and Audrey Hepburn. God, I couldn't think of Audrey Hepburn. Oh, beautiful, classy woman.
So I want to acknowledge Evelyn. You're requesting Aliens. We're getting to that because we just recently did Alien. The Sixth Sense. Did we do that?
We have not done Sixth Sense.
No, we need not yet. Sixth Sense, and we will definitely get to Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest is
definitely in our in our queue. Aged Boomer. His drink of choice is Tom Collins.
Yeah, I tell him that's your dad's name.
It is my dad's name. So you might be confused because my last name is Pacelli. Pacelli is my mother's maiden name. when I was 18, I took my mother's maiden name when my parents split up. Just a little peek behind the curtain, more information than you need. And then Mr. Matchstick says, "Oh yeah, we gotta set a date and time on Akira. I know you really want to do Akira. I have never seen Akira, so
I haven't either.
I probably need to watch that in advance of a. Oh, but Mr. Matchstick said he wanted to host.
So yeah, Mr. Matchstick, if you want to host, that's
and we don't have
that's
to do
on
it on
you.
a Saturday
That's
night.
on
We can
you.
do it a Saturday afternoon. We could do it a Friday evening.
True.
Yeah, well, Friday evening is Fan Man territory. So
If he shows up.
well, he's trying. He's had a few things. Yeah, I mean,
Italian.
it's like I said, it could be an earlier rewatch on a Saturday night. It could be a Saturday afternoon rewatch. It could be anytime. Like I said, it's just if you're doing your channel, we'd love to show up and do it.
Yeah.
With you, but if it's your channel, dude, you set it up.
Can set the time, yeah.
But just remember, like Troy and I love this is kind of our home. Not saying you guys that anybody who wants to stream at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night can't stream, but this is when we stream. This is kind of our shtick, and the professors and the odd thing may happen. I'm trying to get Fan Man to possibly do something, but all depends. And like I said, we have tons of films suggested, all kinds of different ones. I have a calendar of what's on so far, but like I said, it's only literally, I just mentioned everything on the calendar. There's nothing doing. The next open date is the 6th, a day that will live in, not a day that will live in infamy. What's the other one? D-Day. Will live in infamy as well. So we got D-Day open. That's the 6th, and of course the rest of June, aside from the 13th. I got the 20th, 27th. The professor said he's up for doing one a month. He really wants to do Hitchcock at one point. He suggested doing it. He's like, I'll do it if you do Hitchcock. I was like, if you show up, I'll put it on the list. But if it wins, you better show up on the channel to do it.
So, just to fill you in, Al, I was talking to Professor Geek, and I was talking about. I said, "Do you have a specific Alfred Hitchcock that you want to do?" Well, first I should back up. I asked him. I said, "Do you really want to do Alfred Hitchcock, or were you just screwing around?" And he's like, "No. I really want to do Alfred Hitchcock."
Yeah, he loves Hitchcock.
And I said, "Okay." I said, "Are you open to a suggestion?" And he said, "Well, I think everyone wants me to do Psycho." I said, "Screw that." I said, "That's everyone sees Psycho." I said, "Would you be interested in doing?" Nanette, what was the one that I said?
Notorious.
Yeah. I said, "Would you be interested in doing that?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I love that one. Why?" I said, "Because Nanette and I just recently, because I've been doing this whole time travel-y kind of thing, series of time travel stories, and one of the ones that Nanette and I just watched that Nanette really wants to do is The Lake House, and Notorious is integral to the story. It shows up several times within the narrative of the story, and it's thematically related." I said, "How cool would it be if you were to do Notorious, Professor Geek, and then the following week I were to do, The Lake House with Nanette?" And he's like, "Man, that sounds brilliant." He says, I didn't know this, but the professor said, I love that movie too, and I'd love to be a part of it." I said, "Okay, let's make that happen." So, first time I'm mentioning it to you, Al, if you'd be open to that too.
Yeah, that's great. Sounds like a great two. I've been wanting to watch the Lake House.
Really, you haven't seen it?
I've never seen the Lake House. I've heard about it, know about it, know about the, I know it's kind of much maligned, but there are still a lot of people who kind of dig it.
You've seen
And I know me,
Speed, right?
I like stuff. So
Yeah, you do. You've seen Speed, right? With
yeah, it's the same. It's the same too.
same too. And there's actually a reference to Speed within the narrative of the Lake House.
Yeah.
Those two have such great chemistry, and I don't know why. And it had been so long since I'd seen that movie. We just rewatched it, and I was like, I had forgotten how attractive that woman is.
Oh, Sandra Bullock is beautiful,
Right?
She, I mean, yeah, always has been. I remember when she was the when they were doing the Bionic Woman, $6 Million Man movies on TV,
Yeah.
and she played like a newer, upgraded Bionic
Right.
Woman.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That's right. That was like one of
She
the
was-
first
and
episodes.
And she went undercover as an Olympic athlete to help solve whatever case it was. But
yeah, Nanette says that all the time. She talks about how attractive she is, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I saw this, rewatched this movie again, and I'm like, yeah, I could see it.
Sandra Bullock is one of those women who, when you think Sandra Bullock, you go, yeah, Sandra Bullock's all right. But then you see her and you're like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
that's right, she is hot. It's something about looking directly at her that kind of, she's more stunning than you remember or something.
She has that
But
kind of girl next doorness to her, where she's got this simple beauty. It's kind of like poorly done. She doesn't wear a lot of makeup. She, doesn't like flash her boobs and that sort of thing. Like a lot of cleavage and all that when they're playing a role. She's very down to earth, and that's why I like her.
She's like really hot, but doesn't like acknowledge that she's hot and doesn't play up the fact that she's hot.
Yeah, I mean, she even acts dorky, like and what was that one? While You're Sleeping, and
I hate
short laughs.
That is a film I for some reason just don't really dig it.
Really?
I don't know. I think it's because the guy's in a coma, and it stems. I don't know. There's just something about it. But now I'll say this: I've only seen it once, and it was a long time ago. Maybe something was going on in my life that I just wasn't quite into the movie. Maybe I need to watch it again. I don't know. It's just for some reason I don't have a positive outlook when I think of that film. Okay, well, big opposite Troy. My preference is Sunday 10:00 spot, mostly because I'm used to rewatches those old days. But Wednesdays and Mondays, every other week, I can do it.
It won't even conflict with our
Sunday at 10's a good night. Is always a good night.
It wouldn't even. We could even do a Saturday rewatch and then still do a Sunday rewatch with Mr. Matchstick.
Yeah. Now I will say, like I said, my normal schedule. What I usually do, I'm Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'm 4 days a week, and then every now and then I do an afternoon with Al. I almost did one the other day, but I didn't get the time I thought I was going to get. So I tried, but it didn't happen. But there are some nights where I just need to just veg. So I'm not gonna. I can't stream every night. I need at least 2 nights a week. I can just chill out. You
are very much in demand, aren't you, Big Al? You got the Tuesday night, you got the Thursday night, you got the Friday night, you got the Saturday.
Yeah, and it's only half of the Saturday that I'm actually is like my channel. Everything else I'm a co-host, a TA, or whatever.
Yeah. Boy, you're in demand, aren't you?
I enjoy doing it. I'm more than happy to show up to any stream that anybody wants me to pop in on.
Yep.
If I have the time and if the stars are aligned.
I've been the same way. I'm kind of a YouTube whore. I'll do anybody's channel. I've been invited to Orville Nation. I've been to Captain Star Trek. I'm doing everybody these days.
Yeah, so you got your own little thing going, so that's cool too.
I'm not even putting out my own content at this point. I'm just guest hosting on everyone else.
Yeah, like I said, two times a month. I try to do some content. For some reason, I think like the last few months has just been so weird, and my head hasn't been in the right place, so I really haven't done anything that I really want or should do.
Yeah.
And so I just have kind of gone on, so basically the rewatches are my content, the two a month I do, and then the odd afternoon with Al, and then I'm gonna try to do something. Well, see, that's not my content. That's Professor.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the Professor's content. I'm just along for the ride on that, which is fine. I get perks. Like if we're doing the rewatches, he is gracious enough to supply me with the audio, so I'm actually all set for the next one too. The next one we do, I found out today, so I'll be good when we do Scoundrels.
Cool. And for those of you who are following me, I've got 14 followers. So it's like, hey, if you haven't started following me yet, go ahead and do that. Eventually, I will actually have content up.
Oh, yeah. Let me drop the link for Nanette's channel. I don't do that enough.
I mean, I have no content yet. My editor is working on it for me.
And if anybody is here who hasn't hit the thumbs up, please do so. I would appreciate it. But like I said, so let me run over those rewatches again real quick. Next week, Twister on So Many Fandoms channel with meteorologist Katie, who is an awesome.
If you guys follow me and you guys follow Al, we'll definitely be dropping the link for you. Don't worry.
And then on the 30th will be Professor Geek, and we will do the Humphrey Bogart classic Maltese Falcon, which is a great film. The 6th is open. Don't know who's going to take that near you. Do you want it? Want me to have, or do you want to set up?
I am in no condition to make decisions right now.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, Troy, you take it, and we're going to do Trinity's still my name. Oh no, they call me Trinity. He's been promising me.
Nanette hasn't had an opportunity to have a week. Would you be okay with us doing one for her?
Oh, that's fine. What's the film?
They Call Me Trinity. It's an old spaghetti western.
They Call Me Trinity. Let me see if I got access to that here real quick. I'm getting into pirate mode.
Don't. I'll get you a copy of it. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's an old spaghetti western. It's actually in Italian, but dubbed. It's got English subtitles. I think it might even be dubbed in English. I'm not sure, but I know there's English subtitles. But it's hilarious. It's like watching those old man movies, except for this is a western instead of karate.
Yep. And it's called They Call Me Trinity.
Let me just confirm that is the name of the movie. They Call Me.
I'm pretty sure that's right, because the sequel is Trinity. It's still my name.
Yeah, They Call Me Trinity. It's an Italian movie. It came out in 1970. They actually dubbed it as an Italian spaghetti western. Comedy film written by Enzo Barboni.
Did you find it?
Score. Enzo Barboni starring. Oh, it stars Terrence Hill. I know Terrence Hill.
You know Terrence Hill.
And Stefan Zacharias. What a name.
Yep. Good name.
113 minutes. Enzo Barboni, also, but he's directing as E.B. Clutcher.
So I dropped 2 links in the stream. One is for Katie, meteorologist Katie, for next week, and I dropped Nanette for whenever we're doing that Trinity thing she just said. Probably the following week or the week after that, or whenever. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore, folks.
Yeah, I don't know what language or whatever it's in, but I got it. So let me download it.
Yeah, I think it's Italian with either English, just English subtitles, or they dub it in English, so it's the mouths don't line up.
It's usually dubbed in English. It's a
I hope it's the
spaghetti.
dubbed one. I hate reading when I'm watching a film.
Yeah.
Hey, I could have suggested it plus
But
two.
yeah, okay. So the sixth will be They Call Me Trinity. They call me Trinity. Trinity, that is my name.
I'll tell you what, you all better
Okay,
be remembering this for me because I won't remember this in 24 hours. I went to say at Mr. Matchstick and I actually typed at AT. Because Mr. Matchstick is asking if Sunday the 31st at 10 would work. Yeah, I don't see why not. I'm better off just talking at this point rather
as far
than
as I know. Yeah, as far as I know, that should be good for me. I'm usually free on Friday night.
You better send us a reminder because
Okay, they call me.
What we were saying?
They
What?
call me Trinity. So they call me is on the schedule. The schedule.
Okay.
Oh Lord, I'm getting all kinds of messages now. So that'll be interesting. I hope, if you guys could work on finding a free, would that be free somewhere that people can watch it?
Nanette will remind me tomorrow to look for it.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
it. If not, we might have to change up and do a different movie.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's your guys' night, so okay, so that means I'll take the following week out after the 13th. Well, that's the 20th, I believe. 36. Wait.
Oh, the only place I'm finding it
13.
is right now. The only place I'm finding They Call Me Trinity is for rental on Amazon Prime. So,
actually, when I googled it,
I mean, it is on Footlocker.
Yeah,
it's on Footlocker, so it's available.
It should be easy to get, but I'm not advocate. The Big Al Presents channel does not necessarily advocate. Whatever. You better give your own disclaimers now.
No, do it. Do as I say, not to do.
Supposedly, it is available
Piracy
on
is
YouTube,
wrong.
the entire movie.
What is?
I just googled it, and according to Google, They Call Me Trinity, the full movie is available on YouTube. So people check that out
For free. For free.
Let me see. I'm clicking on the link now to see if it says anything about.
Because YouTube, if they have like a little dollar sign, that means you can get it, but you got to pay for it.
I don't see a dollar sign anywhere on here.
On YouTube, are you sure about that?
Let me see if it's actually like looking like the opening, like I know it to be. Oh no, this just says opening credits. That's not the movie.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that.
YouTube does that a lot. They'll post like the intro or the preview.
Yeah, I saw it had a lot of whistling. Those spaghetti westerns love to have their whistling.
Yeah, I hate
the drifter comes to town where brother is sheriff.
Yeah,
his brother's actually a robber.
The whole movie when it's actually just like a scene or two. Okay. Anybody else got anything to announce?
Oh yeah, we should probably go through what we got going over the next week. So I think the next thing we got is Tuesday, right? I almost called you Professor. So
yeah, this coming week we've got office hours on Tuesday at normal time, 10 o'clock, and Thursday we have chapters 11 to 15, I believe, of The Last Command for the Thursday book study. Currently the Thoron trilogy. Friday night, I don't know. Who knows? Fan Man will probably do something. Don't know yet. We had a great week. We had a great rewatch last night of
Right?
Batman, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, and then Superman: Last Son of Krypton. That was a fun night. A rewatch. And Professor got his times mixed up. He's bad with numbers, but he was able to make it for Last Son of Krypton, so that was good. But we had a really good show watching those last night. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then of course next Saturday we'll be watching Twister.
Yeah, keep an eye on
the wonderful Bill Paxton, and we'll make sure we get
on what about me?
Sound Engraver. Oh, Sound Engraver, are you on Monday night? Because I remember you were talking about you had something
right. Usually, let me get Sound Engraver's link. I'll get that for all of y'all.
Yeah,
she usually has something going on Monday, so let's.
Yeah, her link is in my. The link to her channel is in underneath the stream, so she's. Okay, I put her in my list of Big Al's friends. So her link is below.
Her link I remember is on our list.
Yeah, but she usually streams Monday night at 9. But I didn't know. I know. Oh, she's gonna put out a video and she'll be live on Monday. Okay, there we go. Now we're straight.
What time? Sound Engraver.
She's 9 o'clock. Is she 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock Eastern Standard. That's what it has been. I'm not sure.
That's like 8 o'clock Central.
I'm sure she'll let us know here in a second.
And for anyone who may not have gone to her channel before, this way they know what time to show up.
Evelyn is excited about Eastern.
9 Eastern for Sound Engraver on Monday.
9 Eastern, so that's 8 Central, folks.
Yeah. And there were a few comments I missed, but I kind of sort of remember. Well, I'm just going to run through a couple of things just for me personally. I do have Troll 2, so I'm good on both of those. And they'll pop up eventually. I don't know about Troll 2, but definitely got to do Troll. And what was the other one someone had mentioned? That
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans may actually be sooner than you realize. If I do the 20th, that may be that. It might be time to do a little fantasy film like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's go. You know what? Let's do it. Let's plug it in. I hate this thing sometimes. Saturday the 20th. That wasn't me burping. That was just my lips making a funny sound. Pencil it in on the 20th on my channel. We will be watching the original 1981 Clash of the Titans.
That's the only Clash of the Titans there is. Just my opinion.
No, I agree with you as far as like what the real Clash of the Titans is. Mm-hmm. Is definitely that one. Sadly, the quote unquote remake, which wasn't a remake, it was something else. It's not the same. Not the same, you know.
So if we're gonna do Clash of the Titans, I absolutely have to have some Kraken that night, don't I? Because
unfortunately, we're gonna do. You are.
I mean, if there was a night that I was going to release the Kraken, it has to be on the Clash of the Titans.
You get one.
One. It'll be a strong one.
Yeah, especially if I make it.
Yeah.
So just remember, or the net will grow a hair full of vipers, and you'll turn you to stone.
Clash of Titans, is that the one with Harry Hamlin?
Yes,
that is it.
Yes.
Harry Hamlin and the beautiful Judy Balker and Burgess Meredith.
Oh my gosh, and the beautiful Burgess Meredith. Yeah.
He was a handsome man. He truly was. So penciled in Saturday the 20th of June. We will be watching Clash of the Titans right here.
Yep.
On Big Al presents.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
So all those Clash of the Titans fans, it's on my sheet. So
People are starting to say goodnight. Good night, Evelyn. Good night, Melissa. You guys are awesome. I so appreciate you guys being here and sharing the movies with us. Al and I talk about this sometimes even after stream. We'll talk about how awesome it is just to rewatch a movie with friends like this,
especially during these weird times. But even if these times were weird,
we'd
is something
still be doing it, right?
we'd still be doing it because it means a lot to me. I know personally. Yeah. This is my social life. This is my date on a Saturday night.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I got to look at him. Instead, thankfully, little Nanette is there in the corner.
Yeah, pleasant to look at, right?
Sound engravers turning in. Good night, and thanks for joining us. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight for Blazing Saddles. Always a great, funny film to watch. Film that couldn't be made today, and if they did make it, it would not be nearly as funny because they couldn't do 90% of the things they did in that film today because of today's quote unquote sensibilities.
Oh yeah, it'd be so PC that anything that was even slightly funny would be gone, and it's like, what would be the point?
Yeah, there's no point. Yeah, there's no point to that film unless you use the language, the innuendo, and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And people have asked my avatar in YouTube chat. This is the one I got up right now that you can see on the screen. It's my Klingon. Because people are like, what is that? Is that Klingon? It's like, yes. So that's my Klingon avatar. And I'm actually holding a Klingon weapon right there.
Yep.
Sweet. Chicks in armor, man. Nothing hotter.
Awesome.
I'd like to thank Troy. I'd like to thank Nanette for joining me tonight. I'd like to thank everyone in the chat who's still here with us for joining us tonight. I hope you had a great time. I hope everyone is staying safe. I know that a lot of places are opening up, but please, please, please stay safe.
Yep.
Be smart. Keep your masks on. Keep washing. Act like the fan man does in his normal life. And you'll be safe. So till next time, everybody, have a great one. Bye.
Mongo like inappropriate comedy.
Big Al just pawned and Game of Life.